Coming up, groups downtown are protesting in favor of Indigenous Peoples Day at Columbus Circle in hopes to take back the day. We'll be there live.
And Syracuse University dedicated the Einhorn Family Walk this past weekend during Orange Central. CitrusTV reporter Conor Wight will have the full story.
And the Trump administration outlined a 70-point list of new DACA demands. It includes tougher border security and immigration enforcement in what could be a tough sell for Democrats. CitrusTV starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Today, Syracuse University is recognizing Indigenous Peoples Day. SU hosted a university-wide celebration of the day around campus. Good evening, I'm Mike Riccardi.
And I'm Gilat Melamed. The university's adoption of Indigenous Peoples Day, as opposed to Columbus Day, began last year, and some in the local community are hoping for the same change.
The day started with the opening Thanksgiving address at 9 a.m. on the ESF Quad. The Syracuse University celebration on the Einhorn Family Walk was from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Event organizer Regina Jones spoke about the importance of the event and educating people about the day.
We're continuing to educate the university about who we are and what this day is about. It's really about Columbus. It's about our survival. I mean, throughout war and genocide in the boarding schools, we're still here. We still have our ceremonies. We still have our language and our government.
Citrus TV reporter Zachary Levine is live at Columbus Circle, where groups have gathered in hopes to reclaim the day. Zachary, what's going on there?
We're here at Columbus Circle in downtown Syracuse, where a big protest just wrapped up. Basically, it was the neighbors of Onondaga Nation. They organized it, and what they want to do is they want to designate the second Monday every October to be Indigenous Peoples Day. So not Columbus Day, not like we're used to hearing it, but Indigenous Peoples Day. Now, Syracuse University already calls it Indigenous Peoples Day, but the local school districts here and just everyone in general still obviously calls it Columbus Day. Now, this is Christopher Columbus right behind me. Something interesting, there's usually a wreath-laying ceremony here for Christopher, but no one showed up today to honor Christopher Columbus. Now, most of the protesters here were very anti-colonialist, anti-Columbus, and some of them kind of anti-government. However, they made sure the streets were clear, there was no one that was being disrupted, and that the city continued to move as the protest continued. A lot of the protesters wore yellow armbands signifying that they were for peace. They had peace symbols on them, and in addition, purple shirts. Those were the organizers that wore purple shirts. So we're here in downtown Syracuse, and guys, back to you.
Thanks, Zachary. There are now 14 confirmed cases of mumps on campus. The Office of Health Services sent out an email earlier today to communicate what they call a serious matter.
The email also outlines that getting a vaccination is the best protection, but that every Syracuse student who has contracted mumps was vaccinated. They are encouraging people to not share drinks or utensils and take other steps to prevent the spread of mumps.
Syracuse police have identified the city's 15th homicide victim. John White was shot early Sunday on the 800 block of Butternut Street. He was 22 years old. Syracuse Police Sergeant Richard Helterline said the investigation is active and ongoing. And the mayor of Rochester has announced her support for Democratic candidate Juanita Perez Williams for mayor of Syracuse. Lovely Warren endorsed Perez Williams because of her experience, work ethic, and her ability to help move Syracuse forward. This is the 5th endorsement Perez Williams has received from a mayor of Central New York. One Syracuse mayoral candidate is opting out of the 6-figure salary that comes with the job. Republican Laura Levine says she won't take more than a $30,000 salary if she is elected. The former superintendent did the same thing when she oversaw the Lafayette School District. In the past, the salary for Syracuse mayor has been $115,000.
University College won 2 academic awards over the weekend. University Partners for Online Education Strategies and Elizabeth Weimer both received awards. They were recognized by the University and Professional Continuing Education Association. It is the leading association for professional continuing and online education. University Partners was praised for its program that brings faculty and higher education together, and Weimer was awarded for her excellence in teaching. Syracuse University's Remembrance Scholars put on their first event ahead of Remembrance Week. The event was a 3.5-mile run, roll, or stroll Sunday morning. Over 200 people participated in the event, and the scholars raised over $3,700. Race organizers say it was important to them that the event was accessible and inclusive to all athletes. Remembrance Week starts this year on October 22nd. Syracuse University's Orange Central Homecoming Weekend was filled with big events for alumni and current students. Such events included the Arentz Awards, where 4 alumni won the university's highest honor for their work in their respected fields. The Orange defeated the Pitt Panthers 27-24 for the homecoming football game, during which 3 of SU's Remembrance Scholars knelt for the national anthem.
In recent weeks, you may have noticed a few changes to the University Place Promenade. The $6 million project now features signs reading Einhorn Family Walk, which is now the new name for the promenade. CitrusTV reporter Conor Wight was at the Einhorn Family Walk dedication ceremony on Saturday morning and found out how school officials feel about the completed project and what comes next in the Campus Framework Master Plan.
On Saturday, Syracuse University officials dedicated the Einhorn Family Walk to Stephen Einhorn, a lead architect behind the project, and his family. They were presented with a gift of a photo of the completed walk and a plaque bearing the family name. School officials say this could not have been done without them.
Steve Einhorn treated the framework as though it were a project in his own office. He made important suggestions and corrections that improved the design and the design process.
The Einhorn Family Walk is the first campus framework project to be completed. Einhorn says the walk successfully ties the campus together and sets the standard for future projects.
Bold move. We were able to give the street back to the students. Proud to say that I think we've set the bar pretty high, with the Einhorn Family Walk.
It's for these reasons that both Chancellor Severud and Einhorn could see past criticisms of the Einhorn Family Walk, with some claiming that the money could have been used more effectively elsewhere.
I think the results speak for themselves. I do think that a lot of work had to be done on the roadway anyway, millions of dollars on the infrastructure, and it really converted what was $1 million in an infrastructure project into something that was much more.
But it's a balance. It's not about spending money, it's about spending money wisely.
One alum who originally opposed the project changed her mind when she visited the walk over homecoming weekend.
Now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense that you don't have to dodge cars to get to places that are really part of the campus.
Although the Einhorn Family Walk is done and dusted, the campus framework still includes plans for a bird library and the Shine Student Center. Exactly what these plans are, however, is yet to be decided.
Master plan is a map. It's like a road map. It's not something fixed in stone, but it gives us a way to base future decisions.
In addition to Bird and Shine, the next step in the campus framework is building the National Veterans Resource Building on Waverly Avenue. Conor Wight, Citrus TV News.
Well, it was warm today, but we saw a lot of wind and a lot of rain.
Certainly was just really muggy weather, similar to the weather down in the southeast. And Citrus TV weather reporter Jessica Torricelli is live in studio to give us an update about the southeast.
Yeah, guys, it is currently raining here, and it was pretty dark and dim today, but that was all because of the remnants of Hurricane Nate, which hit the Gulf Coast over the weekend and then moved up through the country, and now you can see it way over there above Vermont and Maine, and that's giving a lot of rain to those areas today, but it should move out over the Atlantic by tomorrow. Now, you can see this ridge of high pressure is coming through the country, and that's going to be bringing all of our weather down to more crisp and cooler temperatures, but I will be telling you if we'll see any more rain this week in my fall weather forecast.
Coming up, new priorities were released to protect undocumented immigrants, what the Trump administration is asking for to replace the DACA program.
And Turkish troops are getting ready to establish a de-escalation zone in Syria. How long that fight could last when we come back to Citrus TV News live at 6.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with
S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
You're watching Citrus TV News with Mike Riccardi, Gilat Melamed, and Jess Torricelli with weather. Citrus TV News continues now.
The White House released a list of aggressive priorities to protect undocumented youth immigrants. In order to replace the DACA program, the Trump program is asking for tough border security and immigration enforcement measures that make it harder for minors to enter the country illegally. This list of priorities shows progress in the Trump administration's anti-immigration agenda. It comes as a part of Trump's plan to end the Obama-era program.
Vice President Mike Pence walked out of an NFL game after players knelt during the national anthem. 12 members of the San Francisco 49ers knelt during the anthem. Pence was there for a ceremony honoring Peyton Manning. Trump later tweeted that Pence is receiving great praise for leaving the game after the players showed such disrespect for the country. Pence tweeted that he left the game because he will not dignify any event that disrespects our soldiers, our flag, or our national anthem.
One person has died from fast-moving wildfires in Northern California, and 2 are seriously injured. Firefighters battled over 200 acres of wildfires in California's wine country last night. Many homes, hotels, and hospitals were evacuated, and shelters have been set up for victims. Multiple people have been treated for injuries in the Sonoma and Napa counties. The city manager of Santa Rosa declared the fires a local emergency.
The winner of the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Science was announced in Stockholm today. Richard H. Thaler was awarded the prize for his work in behavioral economics. His work uses psychology to show how people make economic decisions and value items, calling his phenomenon the endowment effect. Thaler is a professor at the University of Chicago's Business School and appeared in the movie The Big Short.
The family dynasty in North Korea just became stronger. Kim Jong-un promoted his sister Kim Yo-jong as an alternative member in the country's ruling party. There is little known of Kim Yo-jong, but she has held positions in the government as deputy director of propaganda in 2014 and is said to manage her brother's public events. A Korean Peninsula analyst says the promotion signifies Kim Jong-un's trust in his sister and his plan to turn the Workers' Party into a Kim Jong-un party.
Supporters of a united Spain rallied in Barcelona yesterday against those in favor of an independent Catalonian state. Thousands of demonstrators gathered in the streets of Barcelona to advocate for solidarity with the Spanish government and national unity. This comes in the wake of the independence referendum and violent protests between officials and Catalonian separatists. Spanish President Mariano Rajoy insists that the secession of Catalonia won't happen.
Kurdish-led forces are preparing to launch a final offensive in Syria, according to a Syrian Democratic spokesperson. The offensive is set on the city of Raqqa, which still has neighborhoods being held by the Islamic State. U.S.-backed fighters launched an offensive months ago to reclaim about 80% of the city, but the Islamic State still has hundreds of fighters there. The Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic forces say the battle could last between 7 and 10 days, but no time has been set for the attack.
Hurricane Nate was weakened to a tropical depression early yesterday morning. The storm hit Biloxi, Mississippi early this morning as a Category 1 hurricane and has been weakening since, with its maximum wind speeds at only 35 miles per hour. Any warnings and advisories placed on coastal communities have been lifted. This is the first hurricane to hit Mississippi since Hurricane Katrina in 2005.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Here are the current temperatures around the country today, and as you can see, still pretty warm for this time of year, and today we actually saw snow for the first time in Denver, Colorado of the season. Temperatures in the west are in the 50s and 60s, but for the rest of the country we see 80s and 90s, 91 down in Florida, which isn't too unusual, but still pretty warm for this time of year. Now, current temperatures for the New York area are in the 60s and 70s. Today we saw mid-70s in Syracuse. Now it is 69 degrees. Pretty nice outside. A little damp, but not too bad. And tomorrow we'll see highs in the 70s, 74 to be exact, with a low of 58 degrees. The morning will be the 60s, so a light jacket would be best for the day. It'll be partly cloudy with low winds out of the north. Now, for the rest of this week, we'll see drier temperatures, but rain is coming back into the forecast on Wednesday. And as you can see, there is some rain in this week, but most of the time it'll be pretty dry throughout Tuesday and Thursday, but with partly cloudy skies. Wednesday, 70% chance of rain throughout most of the day. Then rain will come back on Friday, and we'll see 30% chance at night, but during the day should be partly cloudy. Saturday, again, partly cloudy, and Sunday also the same.
Now, Jess, it already is the second week of October. When are we going to start seeing the leaves changing colors?
So I think we're seeing a little bit of change now, but it's just coming back with warmer and warmer weather. And
Right.
I mean, this remnants of Hurricane Nate was a little hard today, so made it a little bit warmer, and I think it'll stay with us for the rest of the week.
I love the temperatures, mid-60s. I did
Yeah.
not like the rain. I mean, what do you think is looking like going forward? Are we going to sort of keep pace with this, or is it going to start to get cooler?
I say that every week, but I'm thinking next week will be the week. We'll see you 60s.
All right,
All right, thanks, Jess. And coming up, Harvey Weinstein is involved in a sexual harassment scandal and out of a job. The new details next.
And a historic winner at the Chicago Marathon. Find out why he's making headlines when we come back.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, babe.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
The profit of worldwide IKEA stores is up 5% from last year. The furniture store made a whopping $44.9 billion last fiscal year, and IKEA has been increasing its markets in India and Latvia, as well as building more stores across the globe. Now IKEA has 403 stores worldwide and hopes to keep expanding into Southeast Asia and South America. And Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein was fired from his own company yesterday in light of a growing sexual harassment scandal. The film producer was fired from the independent film company he co-founded, the Weinstein Company, by the company's board of directors on Sunday. Weinstein was recently revealed to have multiple sexual harassment allegations made against him over the past few decades. Weinstein will lose his 20% control of his company with this termination. No financial settlement between Weinstein and the company has been made.
For the first time in 15 years, an American is the winner of the Chicago Marathon. Galen Rupp finished the race in 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 20 seconds. He beat the second-place finisher by 28 seconds. Over 40,000 runners participated in this year's race, with nearly 400 of them from Puerto Rico. Beauty brand Dove has apologized for a racially insensitive ad that has, as Dove puts it, missed the mark in representing women of color. The ad shows a black woman removing her shirt to reveal a white woman and then again to reveal a third woman. It has since been deleted from Facebook after gaining negative attention on social media. This is not the first time Dove has removed an ad after backlash. Dove also removed and apologized for one in 2011.
The new Blade Runner movie may be running into a big problem. Blade Runner 2049 reported low numbers in the box office this weekend. The science fiction sequel was expected to make $50 million the first weekend, but only brought in $31.5 million. The highly rated film cost over $100 million to make. Blade Runner 2049 is set in a dystopian world and stars Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford.
Coming off 2 straight losses, SU football desperately needed a win. Could the Orange get it done against Pittsburgh in the Dome? And men's soccer hasn't been under 500 in over 2 seasons, but SU had to win this weekend to stay above the water. All that and more when we come back.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Is Syracuse-Pittsburgh a rivalry? Tough to say. The Panthers have won 13 of the last 15, but this past Saturday, Eric Dungy had something to say about that. We'll take you to the Dome now. Last Saturday, homecoming for the Cuse, so a little alma mater and action in the second quarter. Jordan Whitehead gets the carry. He's a safety, and he finds the back of the end zone. Pitt on top, 7-3, end of the second now. Eric Dungy has a little something to say about that. He finds Devin C. Butler, 10-10 going into the break, tie game. Coming out of the break, Pitt scored early, but Dungy would respond. He takes this one 10 yards to the house, and SU is on top, 17-13. Skip ahead now to the fourth, Pitt down 7, but this one, a 56-yard field goal, brings it within 4. That is a Carrier Dome record, ladies and gentlemen, and Pitt would not go away. A 7-yard run for the Panthers brings the score to 27-24, but Pitt would have to go all the way on a final drive and could not do it. Your final, 27 Syracuse, 24 Pitt. SU beats Pitt for the first time since 2012. What a way to celebrate homecoming weekend. And Ian McIntyre came to Syracuse in 2010. Since then, NC State has never beaten the Orange. Last Friday night, the Wolfpack had a chance to change history at SU Soccer Stadium. See a little player's little fancy feet before the game. We'll go now into the box a few minutes in, and Julius Boucher finds the back of the net past Hendrik Kilpert, 1-0 NC State on top. End of the first half now. We'll take you there, and Boucher is back in the action. Little give and go to Tanner Roberts. And a beautiful cross here finds King Julius, tickles the twine. NC State 2-0 heading into the break. Kamal Miller has a little something to say about that. He brings it to within 1, but SU could not stage a comeback. 2-1, SU falls, and they are under 500 for the first time in 2 years. And Buffalo, well, if you had to believe it, the Bills were on top of the AFC East standings heading into this week, but the Bills could not get it done. The Red Rifle stopped the Bills. A.J. Green had 7 grabs for 189 yards and a touchdown to lead Cincinnati over Buffalo. They now sit at a tie atop the AFC East, and tied with Buffalo at 3-2 is the Jets. New York picked up a win against Cleveland yesterday. It was an ugly win, but a win is a win, and the Giants continued their winless start. Melvin Gordon led the Chargers to their first win of the season, and for New York, it only gets worse. It wasn't bad enough to start 0-5, but the Giants now lose their superstar, Odell Beckham Jr., for the rest of the season with a broken ankle. Beckham set an NFL record last year with more receiving yards through his first 3 seasons than anyone else in history. And on top of that, New York lost Sterling Shepard and Brandon Marshall, the team's second and third leading receivers. And the Syracuse Chiefs are making headlines this evening. The Nationals AAA affiliate has been bought out by the New York Mets. Games will continue to be played in Syracuse at NBT Bank Stadium, and the deal ends almost 60 years of city community ownership. The Chiefs had been Washington's AAA team for the past 9 seasons. And a little MLB playoff action for you right now. So much for a Red Sox ALCS finish. Boston fell today to the Astros 5-4 at Fenway. Alex Bregman hit his second home run of the series to help lift Houston past the Sox, and the Yankees look to stay alive tonight. The Bombers shut out the Indians last night to keep their season going. Luis Severino gets the bump for New York, and Trevor Bauer is on the mound for Cleveland. Bauer beat the Yanks in Game 1 of this series.
We'll be right back with another check of your weather for the week. So Jess, what should I wear to class tomorrow?
I would say a light jacket in the morning because it's going to get warmer throughout the day and partly cloudy skies, so not too much sunshine.
The umbrella came in handy today. Should I bring it with me tomorrow?
Tomorrow, no chance of rain, but Wednesday, definitely a chance of rain. Bring a rain jacket or umbrella.
All right, thanks
Thanks, Jess.
That's all for Citrus TV News Live at 6. Follow us on Twitter at Citrus TV News and check out our website, citrustv.com, for more stories. I'm Mike Riccardi.
And I'm Gilat Melamed. Be sure to stick around for Talking Points at 7:30 for all your political news. Have a good evening, Syracuse.